I find it very, very strange that out of all the OBGYNs in my city, I'm thinking I'm going to have a plethora of options. And you tell me it came down to two male OBGYNs. Am I the only one that think that's strange? If you're the one or two doctors at your hospital that offers it, why don't the other doctors offer vaginal after 2 cesareans? Mind you, my first birth was perfect. Everything was great. They didn't give me the Cervidil the first time. I don't know why they chose to give me that the second time, even though it was a different doctor. And I pushed, when I hear these moms talking about they push for 3 hours and 2 hours, I was like, absolutely not. I think I pushed, I'm thinking more like 10 minutes I pushed and he was out. So now I'm thinking back onto all my births and what went wrong and what I want to do different and how I want to do it different and how I got to approach it and things I'll compromise on and things I won't. And I would have thought that more women OBs would have offered a vaginal after 2 cesareans. And if you go to Google, and this is why I'm appalled, because it's not like the risk, at least it's not what they listed it at. It's not like the risk is high. So I understand it is a risk. But if you go to Google and just type in risk of rupture after a cesarean, like, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's like less than 2%. The risk of rupture after a prior cesarean varies, but is generally low. When attempting a vaginal birth at the cesarean, the risk rupture is often cited as being between 0.5 and 0.9%. 0.5 and 0.9. That is very low. So that's very low. Then we can scroll right here and read. And in my mind, I'm just assuming, okay, that's after 1%. I can assume, after 1 cesarean, I can just assume it's double that, maybe after 2. And right here it says women with more than 1 prior cesarean delivery have a higher risk of uterine rupture during a subsequent VBAC attempt, with some studies reporting rates as high as 3.7. 3.7% is there's still 96% of women successfully delivering, if these numbers are accurate. If my memory serves me, it's literally less than 2%. And then for 2, it's like less than 3%. So you mean to tell me that none of these women doctors, for 3%, are willing to risk it? Or just say, like, section them all? Like, what is the real reason? Insurance policies will force you to be at the hospital, and board policies will force you to have be in the hospital. Like, damn, I have a higher risk at getting cancer than, like, my uterus rupturing during the birth. So I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm glad that I had that one option, because there was 2. It came down to 2 male doctors. The one closest to me, he was all booked, going for my first ultrasound on the 18th. So I know for sure. But even a due date is an estimated date. Like, you should get your due date and then think 2 weeks past. Even when I had my first child, I literally didn't birth him until 41 weeks, and that's because I was induced there. I have no problem carrying them and keeping them in there. So, yeah, I think an OB will for sure induce you by 42 weeks. 42 weeks, they're not going past. 42 weeks, absolutely not. Like, and I'm going to ask when I go, I'm going to ask, why don't more people, I keep asking the same question to different people, and they just say, well, the risk. I want to tell any woman who had a C-section and you have the chance to deliver vaginally the second time around, I ain't going to tell you yes or no, but I will tell you that can definitely lessen your chances of trying later. Now, right now, you might not be in the mindset of doing it. I wasn't in the mindset of doing it then. These things weren't important to me then. They weren't in my awareness. They're important to me now. So things you can't see then, you see later, and the things you did then will affect later.